Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Bozard Ford studio for the St. Johns County show that's on in the morning. We have County Commission approving Knights of Lights funding increase, the county to officially revisit the agrihood, a community rallies for a family after an ATV wreck, and the county surplus auction is this Saturday. We'll get to all that and more, but first we want to thank Bozard Ford. Since 1949, Bozard Ford Lincoln has been more than just a dealership. It's a local legacy built on trust, family values, and a commitment to doing things the right way. Proudly serving St. Augustine and beyond for over 75 years, Bozard offers award-winning service, unbeatable selection, and a state-of-the-art facility with 91 climate-controlled service bays, a quick lane for no appointment-needed maintenance, and even Ford's Garage restaurant right there on site. Recognized with the Triple Crown Award and President's Awards, Bozard Ford Lincoln is where hometown service meets national excellence. Great pricing, friendly faces, and a better buying experience are just off I-95 and State Road 16. Bozard Ford Lincoln, they are driven to inspire. Also, a big shout out to all of our amazing sponsors. We've got Fidus Roofing, Old Town Trolley, Bin 39 Wine Bar, BNS Signs, Chiba Hut Toasted Subs, St. Augie's Pizza, Chris Lucero Bail Bonds, and St. Augustine Handy Houses. You can support all of our wonderful sponsors and support us with your likes, comments, and shares. Follow us on Instagram, subscribe to YouTube and Rumble, and you can download our app from the Apple App Store. Don't forget about stars. We love stars.
We love stars.
All right. Good morning, everybody.
Hey, happy Hope Day.
Hope Day.
Hope Day.
Yes.
So, yeah, it's now Wednesday has become our long day.
Yes.
Because we have a mach-e tonight. So.
Yeah, you do have.
So Wednesday has now become the long day.
All right.
So, and we have land title tonight. We got a lot of stuff tonight.
There's a lot of stuff going on tonight.
Yeah.
I took almost all of yesterday off. I left here. I went to bed, and I pretty much stayed in bed.
No school?
For the rest of the day.
Because you weren't feeling good yesterday.
I wasn't feeling well. I was sick, and I was like, I can't be sick for the next 3 weeks because I don't rest. And so I definitely took yesterday to rest. I'm feeling much better today. Not 100%, but I'm feeling much better.
Excellent. Well, I'm glad you're
good.
feeling better.
Yeah. Luckily, my mom can help, and she did come over to help. And my kids are pretty independent on some things, so they only have to come and ask for information and questions on occasion. So school from bed yesterday.
Yeah. Get that worksheet done.
Yeah, we've got. Do you have an outline you need to be working on? Yeah. Some research. Go elsewhere.
Yeah. Do you have like the backup TV where you can play like a Magic School Bus VHS?
Yeah, roll in the AV cart.
Yeah.
I have done that when they were younger, like Magic School Bus episodes. Like, oh, we're learning about plants. I know Miss Frizzle did something with plants. Let's do this.
Well, and like, I don't think I felt older being a Gen Xer than I did. Like, I was watching, the Gen X crew has like their own little set of comedians and stuff like that. And they said, you're not even Gen X if you weren't there when they rolled in the TV so you could watch the Challenger blow up, and then they rolled it out and then acted like nothing happened.
Yeah.
So I was already in college. So it's like, am I that old of a Gen Xer that I missed that component of it?
Wasn't that 83?
I think it was like 80.
It was 86.
86.
It was January. Ask the Gen Xer. It was. I wasn't in college in 83. Come on.
I don't know. Carry the one.
No.
Yeah, I watched that from. I wasn't in school yet. I watched that from my godparents' house. I was staying with them for the day, and very scary and sad.
So you were in school, and Blake wasn't even a thought.
No.
All right. Question of the day.
Question of the day.
The question of the day is, and we're going to talk a little bit about game shows later at Bollocks, but what is your favorite game show, either growing up or right now?
Favorite game show? I'm sick, so I'm thinking Price is Right, because that's what you watch when you're home from school sick.
Yeah.
But my favorite game show would probably be Family Feud.
Family Feud?
I really enjoy Family Feud. I had to stop watching
like
it.
all generations of like all the different hosts.
I celebrate every host. They all bring something special to it. I do enjoy the Steve Harvey years, but yeah, it's a fun show.
Not a Louis Anderson.
He's not my favorite host.
No, Richard Dawson and Steve Harvey are what I associate with Family Feud.
I think so too.
So,
but the final round, that ding sounds so much like a doorbell that I have to watch it with my headphones because my dogs will freak out. So that takes a little bit of the joy from it. You watch, everyone's in bed and it's like auto played into Family Feud, and you're just watching it late at night before you go to bed, and then the freaking Great Dane alerts everyone that you're still up watching TV.
Yeah, you're still like
That's no good.
doom scrolling.
That'll completely out you. It's got to be in that.
It outs your doom scroll.
Yeah,
So,
can't do that. What
Blake-
about you, Blake?
Blake, what you got?
So I'm got to say for overall game show, Price is Right, but still best host, that guy right there, Steve Harvey.
Steve Harvey's great.
Yeah. It's a special show, especially when he does like that stare when any contestant answers like a suggestive answer.
I think one of my favorite clips with his
Mame.
face dropping that way was
The mame one's the one that gets me.
where it's like it's already on the board
Mame.
and they're giving the same answer, and the mommy was,
Mama.
and it's just a different
Nana.
emphasis.
Yeah.
It's like, how would you even spell that?
Nah. No, hold on. I personally always love like the one time he went to film Family Feud Africa, where and like because of their accents, like they it's like, so I believe the question was like name something that'll be awful if it wasn't at the wedding, and the contestant went like pasta, like so, and Steve already thought he was talking about the food, but because of that,
He was talking about the pastor.
he was talking about the pastor.
Pastor.
Yes.
Like, okay, pasta.
Yeah, I was like,
But there's the first question, and there's two guys up on the buzzers, and the question was, name which seven dwarf your wife most
neither one of them
resembles
hit it.
during sex,
Neither one of them
and
hit
they
it.
both just look at each other like, nope,
Yeah.
not gonna happen. And I don't even know how the rest of that played out. Like, how did they move forward?
See, I'm
from
so
that?
competitive, but I would have went for the win.
Yeah, happy.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I would have said.
There's one good answer. It's happy. Like, you can take
Could
it,
have went Doc. Doc's not insulting either.
but not really applicable.
Yeah,
I guess playing
if
doctor.
if they're really smart.
Yes.
Yeah.
And playing doctor was a weird euphemism in the 80s, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
For some
I think
reason.
it still is to us Gen Xers.
So you mentioned a way that you felt really old. I felt really old yesterday because I posted about glamour shots, and a woman I know who is a mother, this is like a functioning adult, she has a child she's raising, is like, wait, that was an actual place?
Yeah.
Yes, it was an actual place. Glamour Shots was a legit location.
It was
And
real.
It was in shopping malls.
It was real.
She thought it was
Is it
just
not around anymore?
no.
Oh, I thought it
And-
still was around.
It's so not around that Gen Zers don't know that Glamour Shots was a thing.
I didn't even know it wasn't around.
They thought it
So-
was just I guess a description of a kind of picture.
All right, and
No.
Karen hit on mine, and it's not the new one when Whoopi was there. It's the older one when Paul Lynde was in the center square.
Yeah.
And it's Hollywood Squares because Paul Lynde was hilarious, and they'd have Buddy Hackett in there, who I thought was one of the funniest comedians out there. George Burns. I mean, they had so many great comedians. I mean, Robin Williams. I mean, they really had some. If you go back and look at some of the historical Hollywood Squares, like the comedians that are up there, it shows how little they were getting paid at that time.
For sure.
These guys were fighting on the corner square whether or not they get.
Betty White was on that,
Yeah.
wasn't she?
Yeah,
feel like
almost
Betty White was-
every
yeah.
B-list celebrity was on it. You know,
Don't you call Betty White B-list?
she was at
She
certain
was- she
times.
was at the time.
She was at certain times of her career. Golden
okay,
Girls,
fine.
Golden Girls shot her up, and then she stayed at the
Yeah.
higher level. But prior to that,
She
know,
was definitely the
yeah.
snarky sidekick. Yeah.
Yeah, so she was. I mean, when she was on Mary Tyler Moore show and stuff like that, she was.
Classic.
Yeah, yeah.
Man, Betty White. Classic.
So yeah, so I gotta agree with Karen on that
Hollywood
one, just
Squares.
because it's just Paul Lynde by himself. So if you don't
I
know who
think this
Paul Lynde, he's the voice of the rat in Charlotte's Web,
Okay. All right.
and he was Uncle Arthur in Bewitched.
I seem to remember, was it Hollywood Squares that Betty White was on with her husband, or was that a different
don't
game
know.
show? And their banter was just really sweet. It was
Yes,
like, oh.
yes, it was Hollywood Squares.
Okay, yeah. So I've seen those clips.
A lot of great answers out there.
Clearly, I'm a Betty White fan more than a Hollywood Squares fan.
Yeah, you obviously are.
But
Yeah, we got Love Connection singled out. Price
That
is
was-
Right. Yeah.
Singled Out was wild.
Another Hollywood Squares there.
Comedian.
Password. I mean, there's so many great game shows. So
You've seen Mateo Lane. He's a comedian. He has a very famous bit about playing Call of Duty as a gay man, and he and his friend are like two gay men playing Call of Duty, and they're like exploring the house, and they're like, "Huh, I could live here. The wallpaper is actually really nice." And then they like are terrified into a closet because they hear other people coming. Very funny comedian. He's got a series right now where he watches late 90s, early 2000s MTV shows, and it's wild. The shows that I was watching as a teenager could never be made, for one, right now. They can't even find multiple episodes of some of these because they're so inappropriate.
I mean,
But
everything I watched as a child's pretty much done.
Yeah,
You know.
tanked.
Yeah. So even
Yep.
they even have to have a disclaimer at the beginning of the Tom and Jerry episodes. So
Good gracious.
Well, but there is a good reason for that, you know. Do we need to get into Mammy Two Shoes?
maybe two shoes or maybe two socks is it's culturally not correct today.
And that was a question that I asked my parents, and my parents explained that to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Now it's time for a quick check the weather.
All right. It is probably going to be one of the better days we've had in a week. It's partly cloudy, slight chance of rain, but it's only going to get to a balmy 85.
All right. Balmy 85. That quick check of the weather brought to you by Bin 39. Discover one of St. Augustine's best kept secrets. Bin 39, tucked inside St. George Inn at the north end of St. George Street, with over 95 boutique wines, 50 of them rated 90 points or higher by Robert Parker. It's the perfect spot for a romantic date night or a relaxing after-work unwind. Sit by the glass or the bottle in a serene courtyard setting and enjoy live music Thursday through Sunday, open daily from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Just stop by and say, "I'll have what Irving's having." Bin 39, your taste to discover. All right, buckle up, baby. It's the Hit the Blakes traffic report.
Traffic's moving okay today.
Yeah, it is.
Surprisingly, a little bit open out there on I-95 today.
Yeah.
And everything's moving a-okay. A little bit of shadow going and down at mile marker 328. So yeah.
We love it.
We
Moving
do,
well.
We do love it.
That Hit the Blakes traffic report brought to you by Old Town Trolley. Climb aboard Old Town Trolley and experience over 500 years of history in the heart of St. Augustine. This fully narrated 90-minute tour features 22 convenient stops and covers more than 100 points of interest, including iconic landmarks like the Castillo de San Marcos, the Fountain of Youth, and Flagler's Historic Hotel. With open-air views and all-day hop-on, hop-off access, it's the most fun and flexible way to explore the nation's oldest city. Your ticket also includes free admission to the St. Augustine History Museum, and local St. Johns County residents ride free with a full fare guest through the Hometown Pass program. Sign up today at hometownpass.com. Old Town Trolley, the best way to see St. Augustine, one stop at a time. All right, moving into the news. After property rights ruling, St. Johns County to revisit controversial Agri-Hood project. The controversial Agri-Hood project in St. Johns County is back in the spotlight. Commissioners will once again weigh the proposal for more than 3,300 homes after a special magistrate ruled last week that the county's earlier denial violated the landowner's property rights. Robinson Improvement Company is seeking to rezone 2,673 acres between County Road 208 and County Road 214, land south of St. Augustine Outlets. The development, pitched by freehold communities, would mix traditional subdivisions with agricultural features like barns, event spaces, and working farms. The county rejected the plan last fall after heavy opposition from residents who cited traffic, loss of rural character, and impacts to wildlife. But former Judge J. Michael Traynor said the county acted unfairly, pointing to a 2019 amendment to the comprehensive plan that already designated the property for residential use and anticipated rezoning by 2026. At Tuesday's meeting, commissioners clashed over how to respond. Chair Krista Josephs insisted the board shouldn't be forced to revisit a proposal it unanimously denied, while the county's attorney warned they must either accept or reject the magistrate's report. Commissioners Christian Whitehurst and Clay Murphy, who both voted against the project last year, said they remained opposed but acknowledged the legal process now changes the discussion. The magistrate's recommendations are non-binding but could carry weight if the dispute heads to court. They include capping early construction, requiring County Road 2209 to be built before homes are occupied, and setting aside land for schools, a fire station, and buffers. The board is expected to decide its next step in the coming weeks. All right, well, you predicted it. You said it was going to happen.
Yeah, and this one's one, and this is, these poor commissioners, they get stuck in a really bad spot. But the legal side falls towards the landowner.
Yeah.
Property rights wins out 90% of the time.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm sitting there and if anyone wants to listen to what I have to say, get the most you possibly can out of this group. And I know the neighbors aren't going to like that answer or anything like that. And I'm not a favor of residential. Everybody knows that I want commercial development. I don't want more residential development. But there are certain things that you're going to lose in court, and you're going to lose this one in court. I've seen it many times where they've tried to stand their ground, and then it ends up costing hundreds of thousands of dollars for the county.
Yeah.
That hundreds of thousands of dollars can go to, great organizations that do wonderful things. But no, we're spending it on legal fees on something we know we're already going to lose.
Yeah.
So I'm on the side with Clay and Kristen on this one. You gotta get the most you possibly can for the residents. That's what your job is, to negotiate for the residents.
Yeah.
We appreciate, what Commissioner Joseph's trying to do and do that hard line. But at some point, you got to understand it was already in the comprehensive plan. That's why Judge Strainer has been around a long time.
Yeah.
And that's the reason he probably went in that direction. So he's giving you the warning shot.
Yeah.
Of you're probably going to lose this.
Yes.
So, it's a big risk if they do turn it down, because 9 times out of 10, the property owner wins, and it costs the county money, or it costs whatever government entity that tries to fight it money, and that means the residents lose.
Yeah.
And the residents lose because they didn't maximize what they could have gotten out of the developer at that point, because now the developer is not willing to play ball the same way, because you've made him lose time and money defending his land.
Yeah.
So it's one of those that lick your wounds, get the best you possibly can for the county. That's what you're there to do. And, make the wise decisions. We appreciate your fight, but this one, you gotta,
the die was cast.
You gotta live to fight another day.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And I know last time you talked about the commissioners setting more land away for preservation. Should they have set the land where the agri-herd was planned for preservation? So
if they can work that into the deal and then do some preservation land and stuff like that, and because right now it's kind of going back and forth with what are they going to give to make it happen. So this is in a negotiation at this point, at least it should be. And at least open that conversation back up of how do we make this work best for the citizens of St. Johns County.
What do you think about the plan to require the road to be completed, County Road 2209, before homes are occupied, and asking for school property for schools, fire stations, and buffers to be set aside?
Yeah, those things are pretty standard, and they're necessary, because if you bring in houses, you're bringing in kids, you're bringing in,
you need the infrastructure to serve.
You're bringing in bodies, you're bringing in a neighborhood. So now that you have the insurance requirements, so you have to have the fire stations. So all of those things are at the very top of the checklist. Parks, obviously parks guy, parks, schools, fire stations, all of those things are at the top of the checklist. I'd like to put preservation land at the top of the checklist too, because that keeps and protects a certain number of acres, where it doesn't protect it forever against development, but it makes it unattractive and not cost effective for developers to go there.
Yeah.
So, so that to me is the best defense we can have against development is focusing on preservation.
Okay. Alrighty.
Because you can't stop. You can't stop the money.
You can only buy the land and save it yourself.
You can only make it uncomfortable for them to not want to be attached to that.
I know.
So.
All right. Community rallies for St. Augustine family after devastating ATV wreck. A St. Augustine family is asking for prayers and support today after their 22-year-old daughter was critically injured in an ATV crash in Maryland. Loved ones say Brooke Oakes had just moved away from the First Coast to begin a new chapter in her life when tragedy struck. She is now in intensive care with a severe head injury, a fractured arm and pelvis, internal bleeding, and a shifted bladder. Her parents flew to Baltimore immediately after the accident and remained by her side. Family friends say Brooke faces a long and difficult recovery, and her mother will be unable to work while caring for her daughter. Medical bills, travel expenses, and daily costs are already piling up. A GoFundMe has been launched to help ease the financial strain, and donations of any size are being encouraged. Loved ones describe Brooke as a vibrant young woman who has always brought light and energy to those around her. Now they say it's time the community can give back that light. Family is asking for continued prayers and support as Brooke begins the long road to healing. Oh, this is so scary. ATV accidents. ATVs terrify me. I've known too many accidents involving young people with ATVs that I don't like them at all. I'm devastated for this young woman. She was trying to start out her life, and now it's completely derailed.
Yeah. So, but she is still with us.
She is still with us. Yes.
So that the recovery could be long, but there is a recovery involved. So, so many times that's, you got to kind of lean into that.
Yeah.
And then you gotta kind of put yourself back together, and then move forward. So, so the good thing is she's still with us.
She is still with us. Prayers for her family, definitely, and for
Without
her
a doubt.
as she's going through this recovery. That's intense. All right, moving into the Gas Buddy gas report. Tell us in the comments what gas prices are looking like around you. We have A1A discount beverage at $2.99. We've got Sunoco at $3.04. Shell at 146 King Street at $3.05. Shell at 216 Ponce de Leon Boulevard at $3.05. Shell at North Ponce de Leon Boulevard at $3.09. Mobile and Circle K on South Ponce is at $3.09. Owens on South Ponce is $3.09. Circle K on 207 is $3.13. Gate on Mizell Road is $3.19. And Gate at US 1 North is also $3.19. That Gas Buddy gas report is brought to you by Chris Lucero Bail Bonds. Trouble with the law? Call the name St. Augustine has trusted for years, Chris Lucero Bail Bonds. Available 24/7, their experienced and compassionate team works fast to get you or your loved one out of jail and back home. From paperwork to release, they make the process simple, discreet, and stress-free. No judgment, just help when you need it most. When time matters, remember the name and the number, Chris Lucero Bail Bonds at 904-822-BAIL. That's 904-822-2245.
Toot-toot.
We've got live music today. Joshua Tennessee Worthies at Milltop Tavern at noon. Smoke and Joe Showers at Trade Winds Lounge at 1 o'clock. Reggie Starretts at Milltop Tavern at 4:30. Carpetbaggers are at Hurricane Grill and Wings at 5 o'clock. Jeremy Wineglass is at Michael's at 6 p.m. Jim Johnston's at Prohibition Kitchen at 6. Contact Buzz is at St. Johns County Ocean Pier at 7 o'clock. And Trivia with Troy and Aiden at Amici's, 7 p.m. tonight. Inaugural night at Amici's.
There you go. And if you have trouble getting reservations, if you still want to get reservations, give me a call, because I understand there was some confusion with some of those reservations.
Okay.
And I just want to make sure people understand that we're still taking some of those people in.
Awesome. All right. That music report brought to you by Fidus Roofing. When it comes to protecting your home, trust Fidus Roofing and Construction, voted Best of St. Augustine every year since 2012. As a GAF Master Elite contractor, Fidus installs the GAF Lifetime Roofing System and expert metal roofs built to withstand Florida's toughest weather. From emergency repairs to full replacements, plus pavers and gutters, Fidus delivers quality, durability, and energy savings with every job. For Fidus Roofing, call 904-355-ROOF. That's 904-355-7663. Fidus Roofing, where trust is built from the top down. All right, tapping into the trends today. I need to bring to the attention our Gen X host. Gen Z is having an issue.
Gen Z is always having an issue.
They've got a new issue.
Okay.
Reports show that Gen Z is running out of fuel in their cars at an alarmingly high rate because they're too afraid to pump gas.
What?
What? Oh, come on. You guys. Thanks for making me look bad in here.
You're an elder Gen Z, so we won't blame you.
Thank you.
Why are they afraid to pump gas? Are we talking about, and I can tell you this, as a young female at a gas station,
So that's what I thought.
I don't think you can be more vulnerable.
Yes, 100%.
And
it is a scary situation.
I can tell you that's I can see that being a real thought, but I mean, I don't understand.
That's not it.
I don't understand. That's not it.
That's not it.
Also, just like curiosity, did the survey take place in New Jersey?
No, because they do not pump their gas. So many were like, okay, well, they're just not pumping gas because gas is expensive. That's not it. They're afraid of parking close enough to the pump. They don't want to have to they park too far. Now they got to back up and readjust and get back in. That's embarrassing.
That's the worst feeling.
So they're afraid of that
parking.
Embarrassment.
The shame.
The shame of having to readjust. Wait. There's more. Identifying the correct type of fuel. They're afraid of putting the wrong type of gas in the vehicle. They're afraid of not operating the nozzle correctly.
They can do every possible TikTok filter in the world, and yet they can't figure out how to go boop
here.
And this one makes sense given...
Does this pump go on exhaust now? is that what you think the gas goes?
The last one makes sense given that these are COVID babies coming to age. And I said the word, sorry, algorithm. They're afraid of hygiene and afraid of lines, close proximity in lines, I guess. So this all seems to stem from social anxiety. Being afraid of asking for help and being afraid of being wrong and being corrected in public.
I am so happy I have met the alpha generation because they're a little more feral and they're a little more like us Xers.
Yeah.
The little ones are starting to get back to where they need to be. So alphas, you're going to have to take care of your parents. It's
or your aunts and uncles.
Or your aunts and uncles.
So Gen Zers have admitted to letting their tank run dangerously low or putting off getting gas or asking family or friends to pump their gas for them because they're terrified of being embarrassed.
Enjoy nailed something too. They're afraid of calling people on the phone.
For sure.
That is true.
Yes,
that is true, and
that's
you're sitting right there.
That's more Asperger's for me than just being Gen Z.
Yeah, I don't know.
More the Asperger's.
I think it's both.
Well, so I think it's a problem with not having landlines because we all had landlines, and that was the family phone, and your parents' work friends might call on that. And so you had to learn how to answer your family's phone correctly. And that was part of me growing up, was learning how to properly answer the phone, how to properly take a message, how to ask follow-up questions so that my parents wouldn't be mad at me for not getting the right information. You had to do that, and you had to engage with a stranger on a landline at a young age to take phone numbers. I mean, my dad worked in a job where recruiters were calling, and if I picked up the phone and didn't let it go to the answering machine, then it was on me to make sure that I got that phone number correct, or else dad might miss out on a job. So that was pressure. But we learned, because we didn't give our kids cell phones. Their first introduction to being able to call their friends was a landline, and we installed that. And in our house. And so there's in our living room, there's a landline. They gave it to their friends. So I would call the house when I was at work and talk to them. And, you know, my mom's there, or my husband's there watching the kids. But I would talk to them. They had no idea how to answer the phone. They had no idea how to carry a conversation on a real phone. And so I encourage everyone who has young kids.
That's why I'm saying the alphas are beating the Gen Z. I'm sorry, alphas are beating the Gen Zs.
They are.
Anastasia she says she drives 3 different vehicles. Her issue is forgetting which side the gas is on. On your
little arrow.
There's a little arrow on your gas that tells you which side it's on, because we have multiple cars in our house too, and I have to use that little arrow next to the little gas tank. Okay, which car am I in? This is where it's at.
But also the most important, most annoying part of my car getting gas is so not only it requires premium, which yay, but also you had to unlock the gas latch from inside the car.
So you get out, and then he's like, oh, and you got to go back in and get in.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So
I had a car like that.
We've had a latch inside the car for most of our cars as adults, my husband and I, and we had to get a new minivan in the past 6 months. And my husband filled up the first time after we got the car. There's no latch on the inside. And he calls me and he's like, how do I get your gas tank open?
You
like,
push it.
I don't know. I haven't had to get gas yet. So he finally figured it out.
You just push it.
So there he was, a millennial, not knowing how to open the gas can. So he figured it out.
He can make a mean pasta, though.
He can't make a mean pasta. And a charcuterie board.
So.
All right. So Gen Z.
No, that's it. I think alphas are, we're relying on you, alphas.
I know. We got to do this.
The betas are already being born right now. They already officially announced that this year the new babies are called Gen betas.
I was making babies right as the generations transition. So I have a Gen Z and then I have 2 Gen Alphas. Okay. And so it's
I'm relying on the alphas. So the Gen Zs and the millennials, I'm pretty much sorry. I mean, I got a Z and a millennial.
It's fair.
I pretty much have given up on you guys.
It's fair. All right. St. Johns County approves major Nights of Lights funding increase. St. Johns County commissioners have approved a major boost in funding for St. Augustine's Nights of Lights, but city leaders say it still isn't enough. Commissioners voted unanimously to give the city $850,000 in this year's celebration, 4 times the amount it usually receives. The money comes from the county's Tourism Development Fund, but officials say state law prevents them from granting more than that amount. The city had requested about $1.2 million to help cover the rising costs of the event, leaving a $350,000 shortfall. Much of that request, nearly $250,000, was earmarked for renting and delivering portable restrooms. St. Augustine City Manager David Burcham said the city has 66 public bathrooms downtown, far fewer than what's needed for the hundreds of thousands of people who flock to the Old City each holiday season. Last year, local businesses had to open their restrooms to help fill the gap, something Burcham says the city hopes to avoid. We'll need to find some extra money for bathrooms, that's for sure, Burcham said. He added that the city is searching for a temporary solution until permanent public facilities can be built. The city has not yet identified where the extra money will come from, but plans to discuss funding options at September 22nd City Commission meeting. The Nights of Lights begins in just 80 days. Can we have like a sponsor a potty drive for local businesses?
Well, I mean, and they were asking for the max. I think what they were asking for was probably a little too much bathrooms, and it's going to have to be somewhere in the middle. And they were going to rent a space to use to kind of for the cosmetics of it. But you can't have champagne taste on a beer park.
Beer budget.
So they're going to have to relook at that. I made a suggestion months ago, and I still stick by this suggestion. Use the area between the plaza where Charlotte Street is there that they use during the light up nights, and not use the parking lot, which they were going to have to rent.
Yeah. Now
that you don't have the money, maybe it's going to kind of get you to the right spot with that. Mm-hmm. I'm hopeful of that. But the big thing is getting the crosswalks fixed. We gotta get the timing of those crosswalks. We have to man those crosswalks. I think there's 5 different areas where we need PSAs, which when Chief Michaud was on, she said that they were going to utilize the PSAs from the sheriff department when she was on the show. And I think that is very crucial to benefiting. The city's getting beat up a lot about, well, why aren't we doing it the way TPC is and the way, some of the bigger events are. It's different because you have a start and finish time of those. Night of Lights is continually all night long. You don't know when people are coming, when they're leaving.
Yeah.
So it's a little more challenging. Even it's different than, fireworks. 4th of July. Yeah. There's a start and finish time.
For sure.
So that's part of that challenge too. I think if they get the crosswalks right, last year was like the ultimate storm because people don't realize we had the same exact amount of visitors at the hotels the previous year.
Okay.
The problem wasn't the visitors that were staying here. The problem was the surrounding areas and people, oh, it was a nice night. Let's go down. It's free.
The day trippers.
And then they get into the mix of it. And it's like a concrete mixer. You don't put enough water in, it's going to clog up.
Yeah.
And, so you got to keep water in the concrete.
So what
Metamucil.
So what you're saying is to help control the capacity, all residents should spray down the tourists coming in, then to help slow down the spread.
Okay, I'm not sure what he just said. You understand what he just said?
COVID reference.
Yeah.
Not supposed to talk about that.
What? Come on, man.
We already said it twice today.
Yeah, we've already crushed the algorithms for tomorrow. But
Sorry, guys.
It's going to be a work in progress. And what you learned the first week, this is what we didn't do last year.
Yes.
Is we had a problem the first week. We didn't change anything for 10 weeks.
Yeah.
We can't do that. We have to MTA. We have to make the adjustment.
Yeah.
If it's not working, us work it, tweak it. Okay, that didn't work. Okay, let's keep tweaking it, and you're going to get the recipe right eventually. But you got to keep working on it, and you got to understand it's a work in progress. Yeah. And don't beat up the city or the county or whoever if that first weekend doesn't work exactly right. We'll beat them up at the end if they don't make any changes. But we need them to be flexible in their adjustments. So
yeah.
And then was there like any discussions about like adding like new signage for like parking locations so people know like, okay, here's where the parking garage is. Here's where you can go for the park and ride location.
The wayfinding is super important. You got to make sure people know before they get on Castillo Drive that the garage is closed. You got to catch them outside of the town, get them in one of the shuttle situations. You got to change their way of thinking, and you have to make the shuttles quicker to get in and out also.
Yeah.
So that is very key. The bridge construction, Anastasia's talking about the bridge construction, that's not happening until January now. It will be a huge problem next year.
Yeah.
Next Night of Lights. Yeah. This one, it's the 2-lane thing is a problem, but the bridge is not going to be closed until after Night of Lights this year.
Yeah, and I definitely do wish the parking garage space counter was at the spot where the bridge line is up sign like on US 1. You know like when you're driving up.
Yeah, it needs to be out on US 1. It needs to be further out than that.
Really?
It needs to be where the shuttles are at. Because people turning around and doing a U-turn to go back to the shuttles isn't going to work. It's just people. That's not the way people's brains work.
Yeah.
So, but they got to get them into that Browdy's and the other lot that they have at the county. So they got to figure out how to catch them before they clog up the concrete mixer. That's the only analogy I can really come up with.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's true.
It is true.
So.
Traffic constipation.
Yeah.
No good. Nobody's happy about that.
Let's go with concrete mixer.
We want to know what the rest of the analogy is. Talking about a Taurus over here now.
Yeah, let's go with concrete mixer, guys.
I already messed
We were
up
talking
over
about
here.
bathrooms. That's where my head was.
Yeah.
All right. Discover bargains at St. Johns County's rescheduled live auction September 6th. Mark your calendars. St. Johns County is inviting the public to its surplus auction now set for Saturday, September 6th. The event, hosted by Great Expectations Auction, Estate Services, and Realty, will feature vehicles, trailers, and equipment up for grabs. Entry is completely free and open to everyone. The auction begins at 9 a.m. at 2416 Dobbs Road in St. Augustine, but doors will open at 7 a.m. for preview of items. Those wanting more time, there's also an early preview scheduled the day before Friday from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. The county announced the rescheduled date on its official Facebook page, encouraging bargain hunters, collectors, and the community to come out and see what's available. Once again, that's the St. Johns County Surplus Auction, Saturday, September 6th, with preview opportunities Friday and Saturday before bidding begins. That sounds like fun.
Yeah. Oh no. I mean, there's some good stuff out there. That's how we have two vehicles that were surplus vehicles in the 904 fleet.
We do.
We have the Beast and we have an ambulance. So the 904 has benefited or not from these auctions. But
If you've seen us in a parade.
But they have everything online, and go check it out. And if you have a particular piece of equipment, you're like, let's save some money and do it that way.
Yeah.
Get over there
It's a
and
thing.
check it out.
Save some money. Troy, how do you want to check the comments today?
On this Wistful Wednesday, I will whisk my way through the wise and wonderful witticisms of our waking watchers.
Woohoo! That wistful whisking is brought to you by BNS Signs. Want your business to get noticed and stay that way? Turn to BNS Signs, proudly family-owned and serving St. Augustine for over 50 years. From bold vinyl lettering to towering pylon signs, they specialize in high-quality custom signage built to last. Their expert team handles everything: design, installation, crane service, repairs, and maintenance with fast, responsive service that keeps your sign looking sharp. Make a lasting impression with BNS Signs. Visit bnssigns.com because when it comes to signs, they do it all. Also, St. Augustine Handy House. Need a customer prefab portable building that's built to last? Come to St. Augustine Handy House, proudly owned by Troy Usina Enterprises and serving the community since 1988. With over 70 structures in stock, from sheds and barns to carports and offices, you'll find the perfect fit for your needs. Every building includes free delivery, leveling, and anchoring, plus easy financing options. Visit them on State Road 16, open Monday through Saturday, or call 904-823-9092, St. Augustine Handy House, where quality meets convenience and community matters. All right, Troy, give us a comments report.
All right, Commissioner Garris, good morning. We just hopefully you caught what we were talking about with the Night of Lights, and the fun conversation that was. All right, so we got a lot of good stuff here. A lot of people are missing their like buttons. My like buttons
like
are
buttons?
okay. Like their
Yeah.
like buttons. I
Mine's
I
there.
scrolled over. And it's there, but a lot of people are missing that. It's more than one person. Congratulations to Kenny and Demon. Good job.
Good job, guys.
With the victory. Tim was the first person in. Gas at Costco was $2.74. BP $3.17. Wawa $3.19. Racetrack $3.19. I think it was Barbara Jean that came in with the Gong Show. Which was a great show, the Unknown Comic, Gene, the Dancing Machine, and the Newlywed Game. That's when I found out what Whoopi was.
Not just a pie.
No, it's not just an actress. And a lot of prayers for the young lady who
Yes.
had the ATV
Yes, for
accident.
sure.
So
Do we have a Stoidum stat today?
we do have a Stoidum stat today. On this day, 1928, Sir Alexander Fleming returned to his lab and accidentally discovered penicillin. He had left some bacteria in a petri dish, and he noticed that the mold was starting to eat away at some of the things, and he realized, aha, I might have something. And at that point is when he discovered that this was a benefit, and then by the next year, he developed penicillin, which has saved probably more lives than anything I can even imagine. I don't know of another medicine that saved more lives. But today was the accidental stumble of Sir Alexander. I mean, he had the smarts to realize what was happening
Yes.
and figure it out. But Sir Alexander Fleming, thank you so much.
And it's the one time you can make the argument that not cleaning your room actually benefited society.
Yeah. he just left it. He left it in the lab and he came back and went,
Whoops.
oh, that's interesting.
Uh-huh. Let's look at that under the
I
microscope.
don't know what his accent sounds like, but I'm pretty sure I didn't nail that.
I think he's British, isn't he?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's British.
He
but-
was. He's my op. I'm allergic to penicillin, but
Yeah.
I'm glad it works out for
Yeah,
everybody
but
else.
even though those that are allergic to penicillin started
Yep.
the antibiotics, so there's substitutes for that for people like you too. So a lot of people are allergic
Even
to
for
penicillin,
me.
but it started the whole antibiotics trend.
It looked promising for lots of people.
Yes.
And lots of different treatments. Yes, it did start the ball rolling. That Stordom Stat brought to you by St. Augustine Pizza in downtown St. Augustine, right at the corner of Riberia and MLK. Get yourself a slice today because it's delicious. Do we have plugs today?
All right, we got Bollocks tonight, and then we got Amichis later. Like I said, if you don't already have a table, give me a call, and I'll make sure we're good with it. I'll give Jen a call and Freddie over there. So we're excited to be there for our first night. Again, there's probably going to be a couple glitches, so if you go, be prepared because it's their very first night doing trivia, and it's our first night being there too. So,
Yep.
So we're excited to be there. But Bollocks tonight should be fun. We're doing Wager Wire tonight with Lenny.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
My plug is don't forget to get your tickets for Jimmy Jam's Bourbon and Barbecue. It's coming up in just a few weeks. It's going to be an amazing event. Definitely buy your tickets for that event. What
right.
about you, Blake?
And I do have two plugs. First of all, tonight, so after Bollocks, we have Land Tile Talk. Stephen Collins and Rusty are great together. They're definitely going to talk about a lot of legal stuff, a lot of home stuff. So it should be a great hour as well. But then tomorrow night, after Bollocks, like around 8 o'clock, we have the debut of The Reaction. I'm going to be doing a live watch-along of the Cowboys-Eagles game. It should be a lot of fun. So if you guys are sports fans here in the 914 now, and if you want someone else to watch the game with you come join us here on The Reaction.
Awesome.
Okay. Yeah, they'll still have the game on their television.
Yes.
And then they're reacting with you as
Yep.
you're watching the game at the same time. Because of NFL rights, we're not going to be actually showing the
It can't
game.
be picture in picture.
It's just like you're sharing the room. If it's like a
Virtual
an
sports bar.
online watch party.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
Which is very cool. All right. Don't forget to like and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, subscribe on YouTube and Rumble. Bollocks tonight, trivia, all the things. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.